Hey everyone, Reid Henrichs with Valor Ridge, and with me is Jim Fuller, Rifle Dynamics. And you've probably seen us in a video before. We've done a couple videos.
Yeah, a few.
A few of them. Well, what did we do the last few days?
Oh man, God, it was crazy. Well, we had an armorer's class and we had 2 days of rifle training with you.
Yep, it was a good class, and it's the only mobile class we'll ever do is out here in Vegas with Jim Rifle Dynamics. And guys, if you don't know about it, like AK rifles and all that, it's I'm pretty discriminating on what I like to use with AK. So, but Jim, you guys know, I'm sure most of you guys and gals know who Jim and what he does, what his company is. But today's video, I thought we were going to do, it has nothing to do with firearms really. Well, maybe a little, but mostly has to do with the country, right?
Yep, absolutely, especially now.
Yeah, especially now. Because what's coming up on Tuesday?
Oh yeah,
Election day.
Trump's gonna fucking win.
I hope that Hillary Clinton is like either indicted, in prison, or maybe she'll have an aneurysm or something. If we're
Stroked out, whatever it takes.
I mean, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, bad things happen to bad people. So
yeah, I don't wish bad things on good people, but I wish bad things on that one because she ain't good.
Well, let's talk about things. I mean, you've been in this country. I mean, you've lived a long time. I mean, you've had a lot of experiences and you've done a lot of things. What would you say for some younger people watching, or even people that haven't really been paying attention? What would you say is the best thing that's happened in the past 50 years and the worst thing that's happened in 50 years?
Oh my God, that's a tough one.
Unscripted questions, by the way. We're going on the cuff, off the cuff.
Best thing in the last 50 years, I'd say landing on the moon. That's an American thing that, you know, we did first, and we did it because we used to think like Americans and do things like Americans back then.
Yeah.
You know, I remember that as a kid, and I remember watching the moon landing. You know, I was a little kid when that happened. And, it was pretty impressive. I was very proud of my country at that time.
Yeah.
Can't say that today, but then I was.
What's been the biggest change in the past since July of 1969 when that moon landing, right? What's been the biggest change that you've experienced or that you've seen?
You know, first thing that comes to my mind is probably the internet.
Okay.
The invention of the internet, and you know, because I mean, I remember many days where we didn't have it. You know, it was really only came about in the 90s, you know. And I go way back a little bit before that, just a little bit. But yeah, that really changed my world a lot. And it actually changed I think it changed our freedom ambition quite a bit as well, because it gave us a voice.
Okay.
You know, so to me, that kind of stands out. I'm sure I could probably dig and think of other things, but right off the top of my head, and basically because we're thinking freedom these days, you know, and we never had voices to say stuff like that before, but now we actually do.
Right. Well, I know the internet's helped my business, and I know that it's helped your business, and it's great information out there. Like these people watching the video, like that's how they're watching the video, or maybe even on a phone or something. And so we get to be able to express ourselves and help people out and learn from them. They learn from us as well. And I'll ask you, Jim. You know, you're a friend of mine. You know, we've been going back a few years. What's on the line? I mean, what's on the line coming up here? I know this video is going to drop. It's going to be going out probably, you know, right at the election time. But even if afterwards, say, because we don't know who's going to win the election right now, but we'll look back on this. But what's on the line?
Freedom.
Yeah. Yeah,
freedom. But above all, we've given away way too much. Whether we were compromising or whatever you want to call it, we've given away far too much freedom, and it's time for it to stop. If wildebeest gets in there, it's gone. Traditional America is dead. You know, Trump wasn't my first choice, I'll be honest about that, but you know, I've come to see that I think that a businessman who shakes things up can fix this country. I truly do now, and I know there's probably not a lot of people that agree with me, but I'm a little bit optimistic because I actually do love my country. I come from a time where I was proud to be an American. I'm still proud to be an American, but I'm really disgusted with my country right now.
Okay. Are you disgusted with the country, or disgusted with the people?
Both.
Okay.
Our population has been brainwashed and pussified. Sorry, it's true. We don't have traditional Americans hardly anymore. I mean, you and I and our friends, our circle of people, we get that, you know. But there's so many people. We've given away so much freedom over the years that the younger people, and younger people than you as well, you know, they don't, you know, the 20-somethings and things like that, they just don't realize how much has actually been taken away from them because they never had it. And the sad thing is they're willing to give away more. Yeah. Because they don't know how much they've already lost. I mean, you know, I remember as a kid walking into a, you know, Western Auto store. There were 1911s, Colt 1911s right there on the counter. You could pick one up and buy them. I could have went in there with a note from my mom to buy a gun, and they would have sold it to me.
And crazy stuff didn't go down. I mean, it was just...
Yeah, I mean, I remember in elementary school, growing up in Central California, a lot of kids used to bring their .22 to school and leave it in the coat closet because you went plinking after school. Nobody ever thought of shooting another kid with it. You know, what happened to that? What changed?
Exactly. Yeah. We look at this video, say 20 years from now. We look back on this video, right? We're looking back. Somebody's watching this.
I'd be old, really old.
Oh, not too bad, you know. Heck, not too bad at all. And 20 years from now, we go look back, and somebody's watching this video, or we look back and we're watching this video 20 years from now. What do you want your legacy to be?
That I gave back something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gave
That's
back,
important.
giving back stuff.
Yeah, because that's you know, I had the benefit of growing up in the best country in the world, and I've watched it deteriorate. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't leave something when you go, because that's what you do. You give back whatever you learn in your life and whatever skills you achieve. You need to pay some of that back, so people will carry it on. If that makes any sense, you know.
Carry the torch. Pass the torch on. Cast it on.
Yeah.
Okay. What does friendship mean to you?
Everything. Because there's very few. You know, as we get older, we find that you can count your best friends on one hand, and you got one of those. You know, but mainly because you're a traditional American, you have compassion, you care, and you give back every day. I watched you do it for the last 2 days.
Well, man, it's an interesting perspective when you ask about like the people that we think about the people in our lives. We think about the guys and gals, and we think about the people that are close to us in our lives. Difficult times measure character, right?
Yeah, I remember you and I sat on a mountaintop doing Overwatch one time, and I'll never forget that one, brother. I'd do it again in a minute too.
Yeah,
you all know what we're talking about.
They may not. Either way, it was good stuff.
Yeah, it was.
And we look at the last few days, man. I'll remember this one because this is the first class we've done together.
Yep.
First one. Won't be the last.
Nope.
Won't be the last.
No, it'll be more.
And we look at the types of people that were coming here, and we talk about those traditional Americans, guys that liked their family, guys that liked...
we had a good group of that today.
Very good. And they're shooters, too.
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah. So, guys, if you don't know Jim and Rifle Dynamics, they make the best AK rifles that you can possibly get your hands on. I pretty much got the pick of the litter with what I want to shoot, and there's only one possibility that I'll bet my life on. And there's other good ones out there, but my personal choice is their guns, and that gun is almost becoming it, man.
It ain't the arrow, it's the Indian.
Right. But you see, you give a lot of arrows to a lot of Indians, man. And,
yeah, you know, that's my job. That's my purpose.
This thing has almost become, it hasn't really become your identity, but it's become your, I would say it's become your, not who you are or what you, or it's almost become, what's the word I'm trying to look for? It's almost become this, it's not just a material item, it's more like a craft. It's almost like it's old world craftsmanship.
And we try to treat it that way. You know, the stuff we do is, you know, it's pretty old technology, so a lot of people don't know it. And you know, I'm fortunate the guys that work with me, tremendous people. They really are. But you know, it's still Kalashnikov that made the thing. You know, and sad I never got to meet him. It was on my bucket list, and that'll never happen now. But you know, I'll meet him up there somewhere. You know? I gotta believe he's up there. I don't believe he's down there. He did good for the world. You know? Yeah. So, but you know, I mean, when you talk about accomplishments, you know, dude, watching you teach these people, I mean, you know, I've taken a lot of training classes over the years, and I watched you yesterday. I mean, we had the armorers class the first day, then the first day yesterday, and it was just pure fundamentals, really basic stuff. And by the end of the day today, you guys had these guys running around doing team stuff and everything, and they all look like they'd been doing it for years. I mean, a couple guys stumble around a little bit, make a few mistakes. They're just learning this stuff, but still, it was well orchestrated and well done. And these people walked away far better people than they were when they came here. And I credit that a lot to being a Marine Corps rifleman. The best instructors I've ever worked with were Marine Corps riflemen, by far. You know, and those of you who aren't, I'm sorry, I don't mean anything bad, but you know, I just see things about the way that guys that were trained in the Marines like to teach rifles, and this dude, he's got it.
Well, thank you, man. It means a lot. It does, and it means a lot. And when I look back on this video 20 years from now, and I'm looking back and remember all these things. The one thing that I'll take from it all is these are the moments like we get to hang out. We only hang out like maybe once a year.
Yeah,
but
we live across the country from each other. You know?
It's like, but the cool thing is that you pick up, nothing really changes. It's the same as before in a good way. And dude, I just want to say that, man, I really appreciate that we're able to do this stuff together. And I'm also glad that you keep putting out rifles that save people's lives.
And you keep teaching people how to use it.
That's cool.
It's kind of a game we like to play, huh?
Yeah. It's good and an ultimate good. So, guys and gals, appreciate you watching. And if you don't know about Jim Rifle Dynamics, put that link in the description box. And you're looking at one of the best craftsmen that there is with this rifle.
And one of the greatest rifle instructors I've ever met.
Thank you. Are you?
Good job, brother.
Thank you. If you got one thing to say to posterity, one thing you got to say, what would that be?
Vote! Vote Trump!
Reid Henrichs with Valley Ridge reminding you, the lessons that we learn, written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge. Cool, man. That'll be a good one.
Yes, sir, bro.
Yeah, man.